When he was when he was saying that you see the punishment, cut out your hands and your leg. That is also the hortatory teaching. Practically, this is the hortatory teaching. There can be the other punishment, maybe there. It can be. But the very hortatory teaching, according to the laws of Moses, that cut out. Cut out your right hand or your legs, whatever, make you the troubles, and several times pitfall of sin to you. And the another things is that there. The teaching imaginary preaching or teaching. Matthew 6, chapter 6, Gospel according to St. Matthew, 5th verse. Only 5th verse, you see. Chapter 6, the 5th, what is written? And whenever you pray, do not be like the hypocrites. Hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, so that they may be seen by others. That is hypocrites praying. We are not reading the whole of the verses, more verses, because there is so many things has written. They are very, very much long words, are very critical words they are using of their prayer, but they do not follow their life according to their prayer, according to their preaching. That is imaginary. They can imagine. And they will pray. But they do not follow it. They don't have the faith. They consider themselves. They are the big gun, and they are solve each and everything with their own effect, with their own efforts. That is the imaginary. Contemporary praying, contemporary preaching. Contemporary preaching, we can say, 5th chapter, 21 verse of Matthew, Gospel according to Matthew, 5th chapter, 21 verse. Contemporary preaching. Temporary. We have heard that it was said to those of ancient time, you shall not murder, and whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you that if you are angry with a brother or sisters, you will be liable to judgment. And if you insult your brother or sister, you will be liable to the council. And if you say, you fool, you will be liable to the hell of fire. Hell of fire. So when you are offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother and sisters has got something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go. First, be reconciled to brother and sisters, and then come to offer your gift. This is contemporary preaching. A man cannot angry each and every time, each and every people. It is very temporarily time. It is the temperament. That temperament or some patience become impatient against a man, to a man or woman, or woman or lady. That is a very contemporarily. Sometimes it also varied by the peoples to people. Man to man it is varied. The contemporarily preaching is that whenever you are angry against a man, or upon a lady, or upon a woman, then you don't go. You should not go to offer your prayers before the God. First, you go. You go and consult with him or her and counsel with each other, sit with each other and counsel with each other and compromise. And then you will offer your prayer. Offer your gift to the Lord. Then the Lord will be agree or accept you. The type of preaching sometimes very contemporarily, some of the churches I have seen, one of the preacher will appear before the pulpit, before the congregation, appear on the pulpit and before the congregation. Some of the congregation is very naughty. The preacher pointed of his preaching, particularly indirectly or directly, preach something that the common people or everybody can understand, can realize. This preaching in going for that very particular person, for the very particular events. That is a contemporary preaching. Then the next is the preaching, congregational preaching. Congregational preaching. Fifth chapter of Gospel according to St. Matthew, verse 3 to 12. 3 to 12. This is a very long verses. 3 to 12. Whatever I have read before the time, it is beatitude. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for there is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Whether they will comfort or not, that is not the criteria. That is not the criteria of the preacher, but it is the preaching from the pulpit, before the congregation, before the listener, before the spectators, before the audience, that you will have to preach. You will have to teach. You will have to preach or teach, whether they are getting comfort or not. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. wherever the meek and gentle and the righteous person sometimes not inherit the earth. They are so poor, they are so afflicted, they are so much more affected that they are not stand anywhere for the fighting. So this is the congregational preaching of the congregational. Now we'll have to see the 7th chapter, the same Matthew 7th chapter, 1 to 5. I'm not reading all the verses. Only 7 chapter 1. Do not judge so that you may not be judged. For with the judgment you make, you will be judged, and the measure you give will be the measure you get. The judgment, talking about the judgment, this is the institutional. This is the congregational also. This preaching is also congregational. Do not go to judge to the others. If you go to judge, you will have to judge. You will be judged. You are watching with your 2 eyes, but the people are watching of their own several 2 eyes. You are watching the people, only people, 1 people or 2 people or 3 people or 10 people. Only your 2 eyes. But your audience of your congregation, they are watching several 2 eyes. So you should not be judged. You should not judge to them, whether you will not be judged from them. This is also congregational teaching or preaching. Preaching of the institutional preaching. That's also 12, 13, and the 7 verses. There, I will read only the 1 verse. I will read only the 1 verse. That is the golden rule. We are talking about the golden rule. 7th chapter, 12th verse. That is the institutional preaching. Institution. You have to institute your hearts. You have to institute your congregational hearts. So the teaching or the preaching, whatever may be, they have to realize. 12th verse, 7th chapter. 7th chapter of 12th verse, book of Gospel according to Matthew, it is written, in everything do others. If in everything do to others as you would have them to do to you, for this is the law and the prophets. But a simple meaning is that whatever you wish to get, you will have to do for the others. The behave from the people, from your congregation, from your friends, the behavior you wish to get from the others, you will have to do that for them. If you show love, they will show you the love. If you hate, they will have to hate. It is actually in a scientific way, scientific saying that this is the Newton's third law. The Newton third law, that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Every action has an opposite similar reaction. So, this is the golden rule. According to our Bible, there is the title, the golden rule. Whatever you wish to get, you will have to do for them, for the others. So this is a institutional preaching. The spiritual preaching, I told you, the Beatitudes, Matthew 5th chapter 1 to 11 ends. And some of the schematic preaching or narrative preaching, or we can say also allegorical preaching. Allegorical preaching, sometimes you have to know the Jonah, the prophet Jonah, and the whales he has thrown into sea, and the whales have swallowed him. And the third day, the whale vomited him on a seashore of Nineveh city, Nineveh country. This is the allegorical teaching. Allegorical, it means that Jesus will, third day will rise again from the dead. Here also salt and the light. Salt and the light. They're the schematic teaching. Salt. Everybody is using salt, but it is needed a bit. A bit of salt makes the curry tasty. A bit of salt makes the curry tasty. The light. A thin ray of light peeping from the hole of the window, pinhole of the window, and it makes the room enlightened. So your life, sometimes your light of life, also peeping from the hole of the window of a darkness, someone, darkness of life, and sitting and crying, agitating and murmuring. But whenever the light is peeping through the pinhole of the window to his life, it became changed and enlightened his life or her life. This is the sigmatory teaching. Sigmatory teaching. Sigmatic teaching. And teaching of the prophetical preaching. If we see the 24th chapter of St. Matthew, we will see the end of the ages, what will be. It is the foretelling. It is the foretelling of the forecasting of the future age. of the future time, the 24th chapter. See, persecutions foretold. Persecutions will come on the temples of Jerusalem. Persecution will come upon the Christianity. Persecution will come upon the Jesus disciples. Persecution will come the chosen people of God. And so many things are there regarding of the prophecy. Regarding of the prophecy, Jesus Christ has prophesied. And that is going on. The end of the ages. The end of the ages. If we meditate ourselves, if we kneel before the Lord and will pray, He will disclose. He will disclose before you what will be and how it will be, how it will be. And the revelationary preaching. The book of Revelation, whenever you are talking, you are reading the book of Revelation. The political atmosphere of the Babylon, the political atmosphere of the Rome, then you will have to see that context only. You will get some revelation. Your vision can disclose. The God will disclose the vision. What is going on in the present society and the present age. What you will have to do. How you will have to realize. That is the visionary, revelationary preaching. The revelation will come. People will be eager to know the end of the age, what will be. People will be eager to know the next generation, what will be. The people will be eager to know the next step, what we have to go. How we'll step on. How far it will be truth. So this is the realization. If you have the God-gifted holistic understanding or a holistic concept, you have to realize. Otherwise, it will be troublesome and difficult to realize. There is several types of preaching. The preaching content, the place, the event, and the time, and sometimes some of the very supernatural activities containing with the preaching. And these types, all are these are the types of preaching, the categories of preaching. The Jesus have also some categorical preaching. That's whatever we could understand. May I pray to the God, Lord Almighty, to give each and every one you to have that holistic understanding and realization to understand and to have show what types of preaching the people are preached, the preacher are preached at the several area and the several times through extending the kingdom of God. May the God bless you each and everyone to spare your time in this very precious moment and bear with me in your patience. Thank you. God bless you.